Today we're going to talk about reading tarot cards with intuition and psychic abilities, so you'll want to stay tuned. Hi everyone, it's Ray with Tarot Living. Thanks so much for joining. So on this channel, we're going to talk about all things spiritual. So you'll want to make sure and subscribe and also hit the bell notification so that you can get an email when I have posted a video. And as well, you'll want to join me on Facebook and Instagram, and all of the links are below in the information section. So today we're going to talk about reading tarot cards with intuition or psychic abilities. And this is really interesting because really an individual can pick up tarot, learn tarot very systematically, very methodically, very logically, and you can memorize the keywords of the cards, and you do not have to be intuitive or psychic in order to read tarot cards. There is a way to systematically read tarot without necessarily saying, oh, I'm psychic, so therefore I read tarot, or I'm not psychic, so I can't read tarot. You know, it's not true. You can read tarot. You can learn how to use your intuition as you roll along and learn tarot. True enough. However, I'm going to tell you that your power plays, what I like to call your power plays when I'm teaching tarot, is that you understand the tarot cards logically and systematically. You understand how to read them, and you are developing your intuition and your psychic abilities, and the power comes in of being able to merge those two modalities together. I think that that's what we're all sort of shooting for in many ways, that we're reading tarot and that we're also, picking up information intuitively about ourselves if we're doing a reading or about our client. Now, for me personally, I can say that I have found that your intuition can be unlocked and can be accessed and flow much easier if you're not struggling with the tarot cards, with the meaning of the tarot cards. So if you haven't learned the meaning of the tarot cards and you haven't memorized some information about them and you're struggling kind of cognitively to really understand each card's meaning, it is harder for your intuition to flow. It's totally fine to take the time in order to learn the tarot deck. And then you can see, where your intuition kind of goes as you journey through learning your tarot cards. So I'm going to tell you about practices that I have done in order to develop my intuition, in order to get more in touch with that intuitive psychic journey that I am on. And hopefully, you'll find that interesting. So the first thing is meditation. And I'm going to tell you something about meditation today that maybe you haven't heard. So if you are thinking, oh no, she's telling me that I need to meditate, just relax, but I have to have a little tea. It's been a very long day. I'm on my 8th video that I've actually recorded today, so I'm probably losing my voice. But meditation is something I want to talk to you about initially. So meditation can be used for a lot of different reasons. Everybody, I think, has their personal reason of why they would, close their eyes and try and calm themselves down and try and get in touch, with their emotional or spiritual side. People have various reasons for doing it. But what I can say is that I use it for a couple of key reasons. The first thing is that I use meditation and prayer in order to get ready and raise my vibrational level in order to be ready to read tarot. So I actually personally, before any reading, go into a meditation, and I would always do prayer, and I would do grounding, and it takes about 10 minutes to do my grounding routine. And then I would do a protection where I'm, lighting myself with energy from Mother Earth and energy from Spirit above, and then combining those two energies to create a protective bubble. And then I am opening myself up fully with my chakras and letting all of that energy flow through. And so that takes about 15 minutes maybe in total, and that's something that would be a practice that I never ever go without. I never would read without doing all of that. So that's one of the ways that I use meditation. But I actually use it for something else as well. And this is where it differs a little bit from some other people. So I'm actually a pretty hyper person. I don't know, I might not come across that way, but I'm actually really very, I have a really hard time sitting still, I think. And so when people are talking about meditation and that they're using it in order to empty their mind and be still, I have a really hard time actually accomplishing that, and I think many people do. So I actually don't really go there too much. I sometimes will, but I do find it very difficult and frustrating at times. And so instead of turning away from meditation, I actually made meditation into something that would be really workable for me personally. So I can only speak for myself, but what I actually use meditation for is an active connection with spirit, an active connection with those on the other side. So once I have gone through my whole process of my grounding and my, clearing and my protecting and opening my chakras, and then I'm ready to do whatever work I want to do within the meditation. So for me personally, I actually will be on the other side. I'll be talking and communicating with my guides. I'll communicate with clients' guides. I do some Akashic record readings. I get past life, recall information for clients. I actually am very active in my meditation. So I would say that my meditation is an exchange of information and communication with the other side. So that's actually my form of meditation. Other people have a completely different form of meditation, and that's totally fine as well. But I just thought I would share with you what practices actually work for me. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is crystals. I was actually not a person who wanted to get too involved with crystals a few years ago. I thought that was a little woo-woo, a little out there for me, and I didn't really, have a sense that that would, make much difference for me. But as I like to tell my students, it was kind of a game changer for me. I really was able to hear information better, connect with spirit better, connect with guides on the other side better, faster, stronger connections. I could hear things more clearly. And I personally, during my meditation and during readings, hold a multiple crystals during both of those activities. For me, I focus on my throat chakra, my brow or third eye chakra, and my crown chakra, so the upper chakras. So I focus on stones and crystals that are related to those particular chakras. And I also use about 2 or 3 grounding methods. So I use a smoky quartz, a large cluster smoky quartz that I have. I don't know if I have it here. Nope, I don't. And I also use petrified wood and a tourmaline, a black tourmaline. So those are the ones that I use for grounding. So I'm going to actually do a fuller video on my use of crystals and stones and chakra use and how I use them through meditation and developing my psychic abilities. So if you see a card above, you know that you've got a link to that video. And if it's not there yet, then it will be coming up shortly. So in this video, though, I want to actually go through lots of different things, so I don't want to get too caught up in which crystals I use specifically. So you can definitely check it out on another video that I have coming up. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is when you're reading tarot, one of the things that you want to think about is how easily and well am I receiving and picking up information from, my intuition, from my, clairvoyance. Am I seeing information? Am I hearing information from my throat chakra? Am I connecting to spirit? Am I doing those things during my readings? And some of the ways that I find I've been able to enhance that ability is through reducing the stimulation that I have right at the moment when I'm doing the reading. So for example, when I'm doing the astrology portion of a reading for somebody, I'll let them know, I'll look them straight in the eye and we'll be talking about things. It's much more cognitive. We're talking about ideas and information. And then when I go to the tarot portion, I tell them right on the recording recording, I'll say, okay, I'm going to be starting your tarot reading now. So different things happen during a tarot reading than happen during an astrology reading. During a tarot reading, I will be doing various things that are going to be different, such as I may not look you straight in the eye because that stimulation is actually too much for me to be listening, seeing, and looking at the cards and then speaking it out. And then I'm also trying to make eye contact. I said, if I don't make eye contact, that's a good thing, because I'm basically reducing the stimulation around me in order to hear better, see better, and know things better. And that's something that, you can just think about. Do I do things during my reading that are perhaps distracting me in ways that are not helpful for me to get in touch with my intuition? The other thing that I do, and this is just a sample paper, but I actually have a full notebook that I sit right next to me, and anyone who's had a reading by me knows this for a fact. And in fact, I'll do it during a variety of different circumstances, but I always have a pen and a piece of paper or a book. And during my readings, I'll actually write a lot. And the reason that I'm writing things down is that I'm trying to distract my logical mind and get in touch with my intuition and allow for information to flow in easier for me. So if someone's talking to me, I'll actually be writing the whole time. And it's because I'm already starting to get impressions of what it is that they're telling me and what reading we need to do and what spread we need to do and what information I'm already picking up about the situation. I was telling my students this the other day that there's a fellow, Tyler Henry, who does he does mediumship work, actually. And Tyler Henry has this sort of method where he actually has a notepad as well, but he actually scribbles the whole time that he's doing it. So he's actually scribbling, and that is distracting his logical mind, and he's able to then hear the information better. So that's something that I also use is actually writing. Writing things down for me, it calms me down, and I actually can just allow my logical mind to quiet because I know, okay, I'm writing things down. I don't have to think really hard right now. And then that allows my intuition and my psychic abilities to improve. The other thing is that for me, I really pay attention to what kind of state I'm in when I'm reading. So for example, when I'm in, first of all, I go into a meditation. So I'm opening my chakras and I'm clearing and I'm cleansing and I'm protecting. And in doing that, I'm actually raising my vibrational level. And I can tell that my vibration has picked up and it's quickened. I actually have certain key indicators in my body and in my mind that has happened. So for me, I actually will feel like I'm just floating a little bit above my conscious mind. So I just feel like I'm not quite like here. I'm more up here. So I do feel like my crown chakra being open has an impact. Other thing that I find is that in my body, I can get sort of a sensation, I can get a sensation that almost comes off as anxiety, but I've come to realize that sensation is not anxiety. It's actually that my energy has quickened and my vibration has raised, and that in doing that, I am actually getting a sensation within my body. And when I'm receiving information, I feel extremely kind of charged up would be the best way to say it. I feel very quickened. I feel like my energy is quickened. So that gives me certain sensations within my body when I'm actually in that state. I do notice when I'm doing readings and I'm starting to receive information and pass along information that I get a bit more directive in the way that I'm speaking, and also that the information seems to come to me quickly, so the pace at which I speak has quickened. So those are some of the key indicators for me that I'm actually raising my vibrational level and that I am picking up information. So those are some of the things that happen for me. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is when I'm in the middle of doing a reading, I also will get a lot of energetic experiences, shall we say. So you can actually, I will have this video done, so there will be a link, a card above, about me communicating with spirits and seeing spirits. There's a lot of videos that I've got out about this. So one of the other experiences is that I will, in the middle of the reading, have a spirit who comes and stands next to me. So they always come in on my left, which is an arrangement that I have with my guides and with, the spirit guides of anyone who's come to see me. So they'll come in on my left, and I'll actually get, if you can imagine getting the chills times 10. So that would be kind of the feeling that it is that it's this feeling and then times it by 10. It is extremely strong and it's extremely noticeable. It's not like, oh, maybe there's someone standing next to me. For me personally, it's black or white. They either are or they aren't. And I'm very ethical in my communication of what I'm experiencing. So if I say to a client, I have a spirit standing next to me right now, I have a spirit standing next to me right now. It's either that somebody has approached and come into my auric field and they're trying to tell me something, or they're telling me that something is really important in that reading, or they're not. So for me, I'm very ethical in my approach of the way that I read, whether it, whatever modality it may be. So I hope you find this helpful in some way. So don't forget to subscribe. For goodness sake, hit the bell notification and give me a like or a thumbs up. So thanks so much for joining, and take care.